everyone, my name is Lauren and this is my January wrap-up video. I read 5 books in January, which is great because my Goodreads challenge this year is to read 60 books, so I am bang on track with that one. I don't have all of them here to show you because 2 of them I've lent to my mum because she's going on holiday and she wanted some books to read, and 2 of them are on my Kindle. So I will try and get a picture like here if I can work out how to do that on my editing software. I haven't been able to do it yet, so if I can't do it then you know, you'll just have to listen really carefully to what I say and remember, so you've been warned. So the first book that I read in January was How to Be Both by Ali Smith. I have done a separate review to this book which I will link down below, so I won't talk about it loads now. I normally only do reviews if I really liked a book, if I really hated a book, or if a book was just so interesting and different that I felt like I needed to talk about it, and this one falls into that category. I did really like this book. It wasn't like my favourite book in the whole history of the world ever, but what I really enjoyed, I think, was the process of reading it. It was just so rewarding and interesting reading it, and I talk more about that in my reviews, so I'll link it below, but I think this is worth a pick up because I really enjoyed it. The second book that I read was We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. I would be doing a review of this book because I absolutely loved it, but in order to do a review I would have to tell you why I loved it, and if I told you why I loved it I would completely ruin it for everybody. It's really hard to talk about without giving the game away completely, but just read it though because it's so good. The basic premise of the book is that there's a girl whose sister, I think she hasn't seen her sister for 17 years and she hasn't seen her brother for 10 years, and her family don't really talk about it. So throughout the book you start in the middle of her story, you go back, you see some of the past, some of the future, and it all kind of moulds into one and you eventually work out what happens. But just read it. I cannot recommend it enough. Please read it. Just trust me without me telling you why. Please just read it anyway because I loved it. And then the third book that I read was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynne. I'm just so pleased that I finally read it because I feel like I've now joined the human race and I can finally talk about it. I did really well not knowing what happened. I was very surprised, very pleased with myself. But now I can watch the film as well because I've read it, so yes, points for that, I think. I did really enjoy this book. I think I read it really quickly because I just wanted to get through it, so that's probably not the best thing to do. I probably should have read it a little bit slowly. This book is the story of a husband who comes home on his 5th wedding anniversary and his wife has completely disappeared. You see from his perspective and you see from her perspective in the narrative. He maintains that he didn't do anything to his wife, he doesn't know why she's gone, but you know, he might be leaving out details, you don't know as you read it, and as the story develops he's trying to find out where his wife is. The police think he's murdered his wife, he's protesting his innocence. So it is really interesting and it's very clever, and everything sort of ties up together and you are thinking, how on earth is this gonna resolve itself, and it is very good. One of the things that I liked most about it though, I think, were the 2 perspectives, the husband and wife's perspectives, because they would both have a story about an event that happened in their marriage, and they would both present it in very different ways, their role in the event, how they perceived the other person, and what happened. They will miss out certain details if they think it makes them look a little bit better, so it's very interesting the way it examines how we see ourselves in our own movie of our lives and how we relate to each other, but then actually how other people view us and how we're probably more culpable in a situation than we actually would like to admit. So that was really interesting because the voices were very distinct, and I like that. Because I don't have books to hold, my hands are all over the place, so I'm really sorry. So the last 2 books that I read, I didn't read them back to back actually, but I just thought I'd talk about them in one go, were Catching Fire and Mockingjay by Suzanne. I have seen both The Hunger Games and Catching Fire films before reading anything in these series, and I really enjoyed both films. I wasn't sure what to expect and I didn't think it would be really my thing, I didn't think I'd like it. But both films I really enjoyed. I thought they were very good, which prompted me to pick up the books. So the only one that I have read, like on its own as a standalone without seeing the film first, is Mockingjay. And I think it's really hard because I knew the plot of the other 2 already, and I knew that I liked it. I think it's really hard to decipher whether it's the writing that I liked or I liked the film. So when I read it I was going, yeah, this is good. That's because I knew I already liked the film, so obviously I was going to like the book. So it's kind of hard to separate the 2, I think, when you do it that way around. Silly me, naughty reader, seeing the film before she's read the book. I really want to talk about Mockingjay because I feel like I'm the last person in the world to read it and everyone else has opinions on it, and now I can be like, hey guys, I'm here, I've done it. Like, what do we all think? What do we all think of Mockingjay? Mockingjay. Like everyone's like, oh my god, you're like 3 years too late. Like we have all discussed Mockingjay a lot. But now I'm like ready to talk about it. So if you haven't read it, I'll put a little spoiler note here and you can mute me until the spoiler goes away. So like I did like Mockingjay because I wanted to know how it was going to end, but I was a bit like, oh, like at the end I was a bit like, ah, well that's anticlimactic. I think what I really enjoyed about the first 2 books and films were the Hunger Games themselves, and obviously in the third one, because there isn't a Hunger Games, I think I just was like, oh, I wanted more Hunger Games really. And also I think I'm just so used to at the end of a book having a proper resolution, like what I feel is a proper resolution, like everyone being, I guess, content with how it ends and it's sort of being a happy ending. But that would have been completely unrealistic if there had been a happy ending. Everyone been like, oh well, we survived Hunger Games and then we had a revolution, but we're just fine even though we killed loads of people. That would be really unrealistic, but I just felt really sad at the end. I was like, oh my god, their lives are so bad. Like their lives have been ruined by the last 3 years or whatever. And I just thought, oh, wow, that's good. Well, I suppose it's good that, you know, they won the revolution, but yeah, I don't think I really want to be Katniss. Like, that would be a crap life. I'm just going to be controversial and say I think the films are better than the books. But then I would say that because I saw the films first. So, you know, I've ruined it for myself. So those are the books that I read in January. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let's discuss, let's chat, let's talk about the plot. I would love to hear from you. Or if you plan on reading any of them, or if not, you don't plan on reading any of them because, you know, you don't dictate your reading life by what I read, you read other things. So what else did you read in January? Let's have a chat in the comments. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, bye! I just got paid and the first thing I wanted to do with my money is go down to Waterstones in Piccadilly and just go mental. And like, yeah, okay, I budgeted to spend a lot of money on books because I was like, these are the ones I want, I had a whole list. But yeah, I still bought more than I meant to, and I probably won't be able to eat now for the rest of the month. But it's okay because I'll be able to read, so it's fine. Or I could eat the pages of the